Let's move on to the fourth fight on the card, which is probably one of my favorite fights on this card altogether. It's a welterweight matchup between Santiago Ponzinibbio, who is 28-4 and is the plus 110 underdog, going up against Miguel Baeza, who is 10-0 and is the minus 120 favorite. How do you feel about this fight?
Conflicted, man. I feel super conflicted with this. Do you remember a few years ago when Ponzinibbio was like the guy? He was on the rise in the division. Then he got hurt. Then COVID happened, and now again he's coming off a loss, right, to a knockout loss to by Lee. Baeza, who might have one of my favorite nicknames in all of MMA, Carmel Thunder, is riding a 10-fight win streak. He's beat Matt Brown, Takahashi Sato, Hector Aldana, Victor Reina, Matthew Colquhoun. He is on a tear. But then you look at, again, Santiago, who has fought the higher caliber fighters, right? Neil Magny. He beat Neil Magny. He beat Mike Perry, Gunnar Nelson, Nordine Talib. He's beat all those guys. I'm conflicted, like I said, but these are my keys for these guys. I think that Santiago needs to set the pace. Baeza is going to push the pace and likes the fight, where Santiago likes to let the fight develop. He can't do that with this guy. Miguel's going to come through with hands of fury and try to knock out the biggest name of his career right now, which is Ponzinibbio. He needs to win in the clinch, use the elbows when exiting. We've seen this in his fights with Mike Perry and with Gunnar Nelson. Use those elbows, use the dirty boxing, shoot for takedowns, and smother him on the mat. He's not going, like, Baeza's not going to expect Santiago to shoot for a takedown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gonna try and use his stand-up work. He's known for his stand-up, but he's got 6 submission wins, which is fantastic. With Baeza, he needs to keep his back to the cage to negate those takedowns and keep the fight standing. With both fighters having good grappling abilities in the clinch, I think the clinch is going to be the biggest aspect of this fight. And whoever can do more damage in the clinch and win the clinch, I think is going to be the winner if this goes to the judges. With that being said, I think it goes to the judges. I'm going with Miguel Baeza getting his 11th win in a row by decision. I think this goes to the judges.
Yep. I'll start things off with Ponzinibbio. Of course, he's from Argentina. He fights out La Plata, Argentina. He's 34 years old. He has 171. He's 171 pounds. He's 6 foot with a 73-inch reach, and he fights out American Top Team. Then you got Miguel Baeza, who is from the United States. He fights out of Florida. He's 28 years old, 171 pounds. He's 6'2" with a 74.5-inch reach, and he fights out MMA Masters Gym. This is a classic matchup where you got Ponzinibbio. He's the veteran. He's coming off a loss. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years. He's the guy that likes to fight along the cage. Yeah. That's probably his best trait is when he gets the guy up against the cage, he presses him up. He just hits him with the combinations. And he usually is one of the best at that. He uses a lot of feints, a lot of jabs, and he tries to keep his opponent moving backwards, because the best time to get an opponent is when they're moving back. He moves pretty well, but he has range issues. So like you said, he tries to keep things close in the clinch because that's the best way he works. He hasn't been the same that he was before, but he still packs a lot of power. One thing, though, with him that's going to be to watch is whenever he gets hit and he falls down, which has happened several times of lately, more than likely he's going to lose. He gets knocked down. He doesn't come back up the same. He loses a little bit of energy with it, because don't know why. Maybe it's just the chin, but he survives. But then he gets hit again, and then he just falls down and winds up losing.
I don't think I'd get up.
Me either.
These guys knocked me in the chin. I'm not getting up. I'm probably
I'll just take the paycheck.
Yeah.
But
I'm done.
But then you got Miguel Baeza. He is probably one of the most underrated boxing prospects that we have in the UFC. Yeah. He's very quick. His movement is one of the best. He's a technical striker with great hands. One of his negatives is he tends to leave his lead hand low too often. and then he walks back to help with kicks and measurements. So like he keeps it low, and then he moves back to keep the range of his kicks, and then he puts himself in danger by doing that, where he should have his hands up and blocking the whole time to make sure he doesn't take anything back. He loves to take the back after a takedown and then go for like a submission there. That's where he's most comfortable. And then, of course, he's 10-0. He hasn't lost anything. And then he throws a lot of leg kicks. But one thing he needs to start doing, which Ponzinibbio will get him with, is checking kicks.
Yeah.
Because Ponzinibbio would throw kicks as well, but he checks kicks. So if he doesn't start checking kicks, he's going to take damage back for that and likely inflict a lot of pain on himself by doing so. In this matchup, though, I feel like Baeza is going to be a lot for Ponzinibbio to handle. With the way that Ponzinibbio keeps himself low and goes for the clinch, I feel like it's going to work into Baeza's favor, where he's going to use his boxing and movement. And it's just going to be too fast for him, and then he's going to at some point he's going to get knocked down. He'll get up, but then once he gets knocked down, it's over for him. Like I said, he gets knocked down once, he's basically lost the fight. It's just in the odds. Like I said, go to Odds Jam and check out the odds there. But with this matchup, I feel like Miguel Baeza is going to win by a second round knockout. I think the first round you might see Ponzinibbio going to the clinch a lot and trying to wear Baeza down. But with Baeza being the more fresher fighter, the younger fighter, and the faster hands, I feel like he's going to do a lot of movement around the cage. And then he's going to pick and choose his shots. And then when he hits him, he's going to do damage. And he's going to avoid the stuff that Ponzinibbio is going to want to do. He's going to dictate the fight, and he's going to wind up at some point catch Ponzinibbio with a nice shot that's going to put him sleeping. So I'm going to go second round TKO by Miguel Baeza.
Oh, I can't argue there, man. We're both going Caramel Thunder. Again, fantastic name. I wish that could be my nickname. I think we're even on. Like, I think we're.
I think so.
Right? Is this your fight tonight?
This is my fight of the night right here.
Same.
And like I picked this in all my other things going on. I was just on another podcast, and this is the fight that I picked, and that's what I'm sticking with. I just feel like Ponzinibbio has all that. He's 28-4, so he's fought a lot.
Yeah.
But then Baeza is the young and upcomer. He's 10-0. He's looking to go 11-0. He's looking to make a name for himself.
And they're both super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Ponzinibbio hasn't fought in 2 years, he's an exciting fighter to watch.
Exactly. But don't hesitate on this fight.
No,
watch this fight, and then once you watch it, you know why I'm saying second round knockout.